Periscope. And you, what's up, guys? Policy Q here.
Cassandra Lee, and together we
are the Power Couple.
Welcome to the Power Couple Show.
Welcome to the Power Couple Show.
We missed you guys, man.
It's been a while.
It's been 2 days.
That's it?
Right? 2 days? 2 days. Guys, man, I don't know about you, but I missed you so much. But we're here today, man. We're excited. I got my apples right in front of me.
One?
No.
Please, just one.
No, you had
You
yours.
gotta share.
What's today's topic, baby?
You gotta share.
No, what's today's topic?
Today's topic is how to share.
No, it's today's topic.
Today's topic, we're gonna be talking about how to stop fighting with your spouse.
So don't start fighting now, okay?
Don't do it right now. Don't do it right now.
Like, here, can you pass me water?
Okay. If you give me an apple.
No, never mind.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
get my own water.
If you eat the apples too slow.
No, I don't. I eat them
Eat fruits,
perfect.
you gotta eat them like the right way.
Oh, stop it. Hey, shout out to Social Monkey 201 who liked this and restreamed this. You rock. You're
Thank you,
awesome. We appreciate you. Guys, man, today's topic is how to stop fighting with your spouse.
Yeah, how to stop fighting with your spouse, right? This is an epidemic, man. A lot of people fight. I don't know about you, but when I grew up, man, I grew up to a lot of fighting in my household. What about you?
Oh my gosh, I did too. I remember waking up in the middle of the night, just wondering why is there fighting happening.
Oh man, it was a lot of fighting, man. The worst part about it when I was growing up was when we ended up moving to this place where my room was no longer like isolated, and it was like right next to my parents' room. Like I could hear everything that they would talk about, they would argue, and even things that I just had to close my ears because it made my ears bleed. And there's a particular night actually that I still remember where my mom would come home back late from work because she'd work long hours, and my dad would be home already because he'd work in the morning, come back in the afternoon. So he'd be home before her. And this particular night, every night I would try to go to sleep as fast as possible. Like, as soon as I hear my mom come in and I still wasn't asleep, I was like, no, damn it. Like, oh, man, I gotta sleep before they start arguing, man. And, like, I remember one night they started arguing and they started fighting and, yeah, they got all nasty because he wanted, like, oh, gosh, it was just bad, man. It was so bad. But I remember those nights and I remember those moments because, like, it didn't make me feel good, man. It made me go like, man, I don't want to have a spouse. I don't want to get married. If this was a marriage is about, then I don't want it, right? And my perception about marriage got tainted at a very young age because of the fact that my parents, I love them to death dearly, which I don't think they'll ever watch the show, but I think they can understand that for the fact of making a point here, making an example, right? I think that they appreciate it if it's going to help more people out. But for me, my perception got tainted, right? And I wonder how many of you guys who are, I know a lot of the people who come on here, they're married, they're in a relationship, but I also know there's people on here who don't have a spouse, who are not married. And I wonder how many of you guys, your perception has been tainted the same way my perception was when I was young. And because of that, you're kind of like, man, I don't believe in marriage. I don't believe in love. I'd rather just have a girlfriend. I'd rather just mess around with girls or guys or whatever the case is. I wonder how many of you guys are out there because this show is really to kind of like change your perception and giving you hope that there is a possibility, that there is the ability to be in love and to have a phenomenal marriage. But today's topic, we're talking about how to stop fighting with your spouse.
Yeah, man.
What about you? Any stories about your parents? Anything crazy?
I just saw fighting a lot, and I was the mediator. I hated when people fought, whether it be my parents, whether it be like my aunt and my father, or like, just aunts and uncles, like family, like brothers and sisters. I hated it. And so, man, I could tell you some stories about some fights, and I was just the mediator. Like, I'd always run into the middle of the living room or wherever the fight was and just yell, "Stop fighting!" Like, I would just say that. Like, can we hug?
Wow, that's crazy.
Because I just hated it. And I remember, oh man, like my stepmom, my mom fighting, like just I'm talking about like nasty words being said. And I just remember sitting in a corner one day, listening to the craziest fight between my stepmom and my mother, all through a phone. And it was literally, there was just a wall separating us. Like, it wasn't like a room. Like, it was just like a little wall, but it didn't reach the ceiling. So I could hear everything. My mom's on speakerphone. I hear my stepmom and then I hear my dad.
Yeah.
And you would think that my mom was like in person.
Yeah.
Like it was a phone.
Wow.
Like you could easily just hang up.
Yeah. You can hang up.
You know what I mean? But the fight it went on. Like it was like yelling at this phone as if the person was really there. And then
How
the
old
person
are you? How old are you?
I was like 8, 7.
You're like 8, 7 years old.
And I just remember sitting in the corner like,
that's crazy.
is this about me?
Wow. That's crazy.
You know, like
Is this about me? Wow.
Yeah, like I just remember being in pain. I hated fighting. You know, I made a promise to myself that like, you know, life is too short to fight. Like I made a promise to myself as a young age that it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Getting upset and yelling and saying hateful things to someone, like to me it was just like we're all people. Like we should all love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you two ever fight? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We fight, man. And you know what? That's what we're going to be talking about, because the truth is
we're going to share some fights with you.
We're going to share some fights. You know, there's at the end of the day, you know, when you're living with another person and you're spending time with them, you know, there's going to be times when both of you guys are going to frustrate each other, right? So like, you know, we're not perfect people. We don't live in a perfect world. So we're not here to completely wipe out all arguments, because we know it's not possible, right? It can be possible, right? But we also know that, you know, we live in an imperfect world. We're imperfect, right? And there's certain things that sometimes stir us up. There's certain things that trigger it. But what we're here to share with you guys today is to share with you guys just a couple of tips, a couple of things that have worked in our relationship to minimize the fighting and to eventually kind of, you know, go for really long streaks without fighting, right?
Absolutely.
So that's what we're going to be sharing with you guys.
I have to say, man, we're doing such a good job.
Yeah,
you know?
We've gotten so much better, and we can't wait to share with you guys exactly what we're doing to make those things happen, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get started, man. You know, we kind of like went on for a little bit. Let's get started with our usual.
Yeah, love words.
Love words.
Love words.
Palabras de amor. What do we do in love words, baby?
Man, on love words, what we do is we decide to like just show our partners some love. We want to just uplift them, edify them, speak life into them, just really pinpoint and recognize them for how much they're amazing in our life, how grateful we are for them. So this is a time where you should call your spouse, text your spouse, Facebook message your spouse, do something that you're going to do something in where you are edifying your partner and you're showing them some love, right? Because that's what we do. And I can't begin to tell you how. If you begin to start doing this, if you actually make it a priority to allocate some time to really a time in your day to really just send a love word to your spouse or voicemail, it's going to do so much good in your relationship. And it's going to deposit so much money in the emotional bank account that whenever you do need to withdraw, it's going to be okay. So make sure you get in front of your partner. Do something right now. And if you're watching the replay, make sure you stop the video and do it right now. Okay? Like, do it right now, because I'm telling you, look, it's something so small yet so powerful. So do it right now.
No, this has changed the game for our relationship.
This has changed the game for our relationship. It's so simple yet so effective. So we're going to do it right now. You guys can see us right now, watch us, whatever. You can see the example here.
And if you're single, look in the mirror and do it to yourself.
Yeah, do it to yourself, man. You gotta love yourself before you love someone sometimes. All right, here we go. Baby, wow, I love you, man. I really do love you. I want to say that you're just an amazing individual. You know, you're such a hard worker. You have such a big vision, a big heart, and I want to say that I really do appreciate you for that.
Baby, I just want you to know that I love you for constantly believing in me. Believing in me, believing in yourself, believing in God, believing in our vision, believing in our future.
Yeah.
You just have so much belief that it's like nothing can tear you down. Nothing. There's not one thing. It's like when adversity comes to your way, you look at adversity and you tell adversity what you believe. And it's just like, you know, thank you.
Wow.
You know, I love you so much because that, and I trust so much that we're headed in the right direction because you're so faithful.
Yeah, I appreciate it, babe. I want to say thank you, baby, because you are amazing. I really mean that. One of the things that you've definitely brought to this relationship is fun, man. Let me tell you something. I just love the fact that you have such a fun spirit. It's affected me with it. And it's so awesome because it always reminds me to be a kid. It always reminds me to just constantly have fun. And I think that sometimes, you know, we kind of think that as we get older that fun needs to stop, but honestly, fun is probably the most amazing thing that can happen.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for that.
You are so much fun too, man. Like your fun meter is perfect. It's just awesome, man. Like I really appreciate it. I just want you to know that I love you so much for your patience. I know that sometimes I can be a little much, and it can cause me to get a little impatient with me. But you're just so good. You've gotten so much better with instead of reacting, you take a moment and you say, all right, how do I want to respond to this?
Yeah.
And you literally give me just enough room to come through.
Wow.
And that's awesome because it gives me, you know, like I'm coming through.
Yeah.
I'm just not coming through when you want, but it's coming through. And I just appreciate your patience so much, man. I love you so much.
You're awesome, baby. I want to say that thank you for being so forgiving. And thank you for, in the forgiveness, always building me up as a man. You know, I think that's so powerful that in my weakest point, my most vulnerable position where I'm asking for forgiveness, instead of, you know, putting me down or just, okay, whatever, kind of brushing it off, you use that as a moment to really uplift me and to really solidify who I am called to be. So I want to say thank you.
I love you so much, babe. You're the best.
Love you too.
Man, I love words, man.
Love words, baby. Welcome to the Power Couple Show.
We're live Monday through Friday,
10 a.m. Eastern on Meerkat YouTube and thepowercoupleshow.com.
How did you guys enjoy that? Did you enjoy it? Because let me tell you, man, when you do this, it's like you're forced to think about your life with one another.
You're forced to think about your life with one another, man. It forces you to really dig deep and really see your partner for what they are, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so often we take so many things for granted, man. You know, so many things for granted that sometimes we just focus on what's happening, the problem. But the truth is, you know what? There's so many things that you probably have no idea that are just such a blessing to you and your life. And one of them being your spouse, right? One of them being your spouse. It's your greatest resource. It's your best friend. It's an amazing person, and you definitely don't want to take them for granted, right? So we do Love Words every Monday through Friday, and we kind of allocate the time to do so. So hopefully you're doing the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're getting like benefits out of it, if you're getting insight and just your relationship is growing, please share it with us. We'd love to know, because it's definitely doing that for us as well. All right, guys, we're gonna move into the quote of the day.
The quote of the day.
Drum roll, please. What? Those are some interesting drums.
That was better. That was better though.
So this quote, I kind of like made it up.
Okay, you like making stuff up?
Yeah, it's called what do we call those?
I don't know.
The quoties? Quoties? Is that what we call them?
Nah, quoties.
Yeah, like the quotes that we make up.
I think we do call them quoties.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
You know, I was looking for something on the internet, but it just nothing was like settling with me.
Yeah.
And I think that this is something that I created. It's still not perfect, but you know.
It's cool.
Yeah.
We ain't perfect.
Yeah, we ain't perfect.
Go ahead, check.
Okay. So arguing and bickering in a relationship can create void, but recognizing them as challenges can create growth. Cassandra Lee. One more time, right?
Yeah.
Arguing and bickering in a relationship can create a void, but recognizing those arguments as challenges can create growth.
That's really good.
And this is powerful because
that's actually really powerful.
I know, baby. It's
Cassandra Lee. Really,
Cassandra Lee came up with that quote. You know,
my wife came up with that quote, yo.
Just kidding. So let's look at that for what it is, okay?
Yeah.
When you argue and you bicker, what is an argument?
Man, an argument is like two people just not, you know, they're not seeing eye to eye on a certain topic, a certain issue. You know, they feel like they don't understand each other.
Yeah. An argument is two people trying to get one point across, or two different points across.
Yeah, very true.
And that's it. They're not caring about what your point is.
That's true.
And you're not caring about what my point is. That's what an argument is.
Yeah.
When there's no mutual care for what each other's ideas are.
That's true.
It's just, this is my idea, this is my idea, this is me. And that's what an argument is. And when you do that in a relationship, you're creating a void. What is a void?
A void is like a gap, man. It's a gap that now it's like the way I see it is like when you get cut, right? You now have a cut, and your job is to quickly resolve, like to quickly, stitch that cut up, Band-Aid, put alcohol on it, put peroxide on it, right? Do whatever it takes to get rid of all the germs, because if you leave the wound open, now it's susceptible, whatever. It's open to bacteria. It's open to just getting infected. And I think in a relationship, it works the same way, that if you don't resolve that argument, if you don't resolve that quickly, if you don't put the fire out quickly, what ends up happening is that gets infected, and it gets infected in many different ways, where people, if you don't resolve it, you start getting bitter. You feel
right.
All these things happen that just are not good for your marriage or relationship.
Right. This void can get bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't do anything about it, it will lead to a divorce.
It will lead absolutely
to a separation.
Yeah.
And sometimes people think that, solving the argument is just agreeing.
Yeah.
Even if you don't agree.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
We'll agree to disagree.
Yeah. But that's not solving anything. There's still an underlying
it's like a group.
Right?
Yeah, the group.
And so the second part of this quote is recognizing these arguments as challenges. Now, what's the difference between the argument and a challenge?
An argument and a challenge.
An argument, again, is just one-sided. A challenge is something that can be overcome. Always.
Yeah.
There's always a solution. A challenge naturally causes growth. Naturally. Okay? If I'm challenged with something, right? If I'm doing push-ups and the push-ups are challenging, it's causing me to what? To grow. It's just natural. This is a natural thing, okay? And so when you have a challenge, when you recognize, we can either argue about this or we can get challenged by this. Which one do we want to do? And then that challenge causes you to grow. Baby, I want you to share a story really fast.
Yeah, I know exactly what story you're going to.
Yeah, the first time we ever fought.
It was the first time we ever fought, man.
It wasn't even a fight.
It was a challenge.
I don't think we ever used it as an argument.
No, we didn't. But in the very beginning, I think I could relate with Social Monkey. I think, I could relate with you, bro, because when I dated a lot of girls who were not very mature, a lot of girls who were very emotional, a lot of girls who were very insecure. And we, every time we fought, it was a fight. But I remember a particular moment, a particular time, a couple of years ago, like 4 years ago, when we first were starting to date, we were starting to get to know each other, and we were actually heading home to my house to eat some Peruvian food. And and at the time, I was actually I started like this coaching business, which really wasn't even a business. It was like an idea. I was passionate about it. I wanted to help people out. And the truth was that I needed more help than anything else. And I started putting these signs up for my coaching business so I can attract more clients. Now, mind you, I didn't have a lot of cash. I didn't have the best tools, and my handwriting wasn't the best. So I ended up writing these signs with my own handwriting, which, if you know my handwriting, it's terrible. Mm-hmm. It's worse than a first grader's handwriting. And or at least that's what it looked like on the signs. And when I wrote up the signs, I put them everywhere on all of these different intersections, right? And it just happened to be that when we were pulling up to my house and we were heading to my house, we stopped at a red light, and I saw one of my signs, and I thought, wow, this is an amazing opportunity to tell her, like, my advertisement is right there. Look, that's my business right there. Like, so proud, so happy. And I look over to the right and I say, hey, babe, look, that's actually one of those signs that I'm putting up for my coaching business. She's like, oh, really? So she turns and she's like, what do you say?
I don't remember what I said. I was just like, that?
Well, that's your sign? Like, she gives one of those things. And I'm like, immediately I know something's wrong. I'm like, what do you mean that's my sign? She's like, well.
I just said, don't you want to make it look nicer?
Yeah, and I was
something like that.
And it hurt me because I took it personal, because I'm like, I was the one putting it up at night. I was the one stapling it with the gun. I was the one staying up in the late hours doing this and running around. And when she said that, it really hurt me. And I felt like she was trying to take a swing at me. But
I think I said something like, it looks ghetto.
Yeah, but in reality, all she was trying to do, she was trying to help me out. Mm-hmm. So like this began like a mini fight, like our first argument, our first fight, whatever you want to call it.
Our first opportunity to see it as an argument or a challenge.
Yeah, first opportunity to see it as an argument or as a challenge. So by the time we get home, like I'm getting really, really heated. I'm getting frustrated. I'm getting angry.
And he wasn't even saying it. Like, you could just see it in his face.
Yeah, you could see it in my face.
His eyes, his demeanor changed.
My demeanor changed. I stopped talking. I shut the radio off. Like things went silent. And when we finally got to my house, my wife, she's just great at knowing when something's wrong with me. And plus, I'm very obvious. Anyways, we get home. And when we get home, she looks at me and she says, look, listen, we just had our first fight. And I was like, we did. And she's like, yeah, but she was like,
you know what that means?
You know what that means, right? We just grew.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what? Like, when she said that, my perspective shifted from arguments and fights being a negative thing. Opportunity to grow, an opportunity to get closer to each other.
Right.
And that was by far so powerful. And sometimes, right? Sometimes, the biggest thing that we have in our life that, the biggest agent that can help us in our life is how we translate a meaning, right? Like our perspective.
Our perception.
And like a perception of, or a perspective of what's happening right then and there, right? And like, this is the beautiful thing about life, that, if we can translate what just happened and took place as a positive thing, then our relationship can grow.
Yeah.
But sometimes we translate certain situations, and we, instead of using it to build us up, we use it to build us down.
That's good.
And my wife, she made me aware that the way she translated this situation was as a positive thing, as a way to grow, as a way to build. And she changed my perspective forever.
Yeah.
And she made me realize, wow, I need to embrace these fights. I need to embrace these arguments. Because
it's beautiful.
These arguments are happening because I still need to, there's something I still don't know about my partner. There's still, I need to explore. I need to discover more. I need to figure out what's causing her to act like that, or what's causing him to act like that. Or how can we both be how can we both stop arguing, right? Because at the end of the day, an argument, a discussion, and whatever you want to call it, it just means that you still don't know your partner.
Yeah.
To the fullest
You're
potential.
just not seeing eye to eye.
Yeah.
And so I remember that the first lesson I learned from our first argument was how to word things in a way that uplift, right? Because I said something like, that sign looks ghetto. And obviously, that's probably not the best way to have said it. I probably should have said something like, man, I'm so excited for your business. I would love to help you out. What if we change the sign and make it look a little bit more presentable?
Sweet. That's way better.
Immediately, he would have been receptive. I could have prevented the entire moment.
Yeah.
But that's what I learned. And what did he learn? He learned to get the whole picture before making an assumption that I'm putting him down.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we learned something. We grew. And I'm telling you, there's hundreds of more fights after that. I mean, we're not perfect, guys, okay? We do our best to recognize every argument as a challenge so we don't have to bicker. But there has been times where we have been at each other's throats, slamming doors, walking away, not talking. It has happened more in the beginning of our relationship. I don't see a future of us arguing the way that we have in the past.
No, it's like it's getting less and less and less, and the arguments are being resolved faster and faster and faster, because that's the beautiful thing about the opportunity to argue. And it's an opportunity to understand your partner. It's an opportunity to get to know them on a deeper level. And when you start understanding your partner on a deeper level, you can start preventing a lot of these arguments, a lot of these fights, a lot of these unneeded, unwanted fights that happen, right? The reason why my parents would fight all the time, and the reason why they would fight over the same thing, is because they never saw it as an opportunity to grow. They always just saw it as a fight. Yeah. But imagine if they said, look, listen, why do we fight? And if they got to the root of the problem, right? There's something called, man, I forgot what it's called, but I think it's called and I remember I was telling you about how asking yourself why 3 times.
Yeah, but I don't remember what it's called.
Anyways, whatever it's called, right?
Something analysis.
Like, it's something analysis, right? But what it means is every time you do something, like if you're fighting, this is a perfect time to use it. Ask yourself why 3 times. Ask yourself why. Why do we fight? And then when you get the answer to that, okay, so we fought because of this. Now, why was this such an issue? And just keep asking yourself why with your partner, and you'll start getting down to the root of the problem.
Right.
And you can say, oh my God, it's not even about that the food tasted nasty. It's about that, it's because of this. This right here is the real underlying issue.
Right.
So when you fight with your partner, ask yourself why 3 times. And get really, really deep, because that's what gets to that. That's what's going to help you understand your partner on a deeper level. So then the fights become less and less. I mean, why do you think our fights are becoming less and less? And why do you think we're resolving them faster? Resolving them faster.
Well, man, I'm going to give them 3 reasons why in a minute.
Share it.
But before we actually go into those 3 reasons, I just wanted to share something really cool. When you guys get into I totally lost my train of thought by asking me that question. But guys, you're watching the Power Couple Show live Monday through Friday,
10 a.m. Eastern.
I'm Meerkat
YouTube and thepowercoupleshow.com.
Shout out to Social Monkey 201. He's doing all the comments down there. Where's everyone else at? He said, the first fight in most relationships is like a link in a chain, which ends where the relationship becomes toxic. It's like it implants toxic, right? Toxin into your relationship, and it's true, it can.
Yeah.
It can, but the whole point is to try to prevent it. I was gonna say something earlier, which was something I don't remember what it was exactly, but look, you have to understand that arguing is gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
It is.
But because emotions are flying, like it's hard to.
Sorry.
It's hard to control the outcome, because you can't, of an argument when emotions are involved. Emotions just it's like having water, right? And if I put colored dye in it, it's gonna change the entire water.
Yeah, even if it's just one droplet.
Even one droplet, like.
Yeah.
That's an emotion. Like an emotion just changes the entire thing. Like right now, it's easy to say it. It's easy to say, okay, recognize this as a challenge. Let's talk about it rather than arguing. But put an emotion in there. When you put an emotion, it's like you lose all senses almost, right? They lie to you. Emotions lie to you. They get you thinking twisted. They get you. I mean, I have seen my husband very emotional. He has seen me very emotional.
Yeah.
We're 2 completely different people than what you see.
Man.
It's like we start thinking that we're out to get each other. Like, oh my goodness, everyone's out after me. Like emotions do this to you. Like they twist everything up. And I just want you to understand something though. That look, like I'm gonna go into the 3 things. Okay,
go into the 3 things.
The first thing that you want to understand, this is gonna help you to stop fighting. Okay. The first thing you want to understand is what we mentioned before, which is understanding that it's an opportunity to look at it as a challenge, to grow.
Bam.
Okay, that's the first thing.
Yeah.
If you can see an argument beginning to arise, let's instead look at it as a challenge. Okay, understand your spouse is feeling very highly towards a point. You're feeling very highly towards a point. Your goal is to say, okay, what are we fighting about? Put it in the middle. How do you feel about that? How do I feel about that?
Okay.
How can we come through some mutual agreement? And repeat it back. Baby, you're saying that you feel like X, Y, and Z. And he's like, yes, that's exactly how I'm feeling. And then he'll say, how are you feeling? I'm going to tell him how I'm feeling. And then he's going to say, so you're feeling like X, Y, and Z. And I'm going to say yes. And then we're just going to be like, okay, so how can we stop feeling like X, Y, and Z?
Yeah.
Well, maybe if we talked about this earlier,
yeah.
Maybe if we dealt with it when it first arrived,
yeah.
Maybe if we write it down so we don't ever have to forget these things, like whatever, come up with a solution, right? Number 2, okay? Number 2 is this. This is a good one. This changed my life. It changed my life.
Talk about it, girl.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Was it Sunday? No.
Was it Sunday?
Monday.
Okay.
No, Tuesday. I lied. Tuesday. It changed my life on Tuesday, okay? He was telling me the other day that he was reading a book, and in the book, the guy talks about how he's very notorious for losing his wallet.
Yeah, yeah.
And his wife is just like, over the top with it. Like, this is years of him constantly losing wallet. She has
no more empathy
left. No more empathy, no more patience. He tells me this whole story about this whole wallet losing thing. And he's like, I guess it's just a man thing. Because he's very notorious for losing stuff, but he's gotten so much better. And I remember one of the biggest things we fought about was him losing something in my reaction towards it.
It's true. I used to lose things.
And then it would lead on to he's no longer losing anything, but because he's notorious for losing it, ladies, what do? Do you have this? Hey, we're going somewhere. Do you got it? Do you have it on you? And he would get livid when I would ask him if he was carrying it. Hey, do you have your wallet? He would get, stop asking me. Gosh, you're always holding this expectation that I'm going to lose something, right? Like it would be like a fight that would, it's just like an everyday fight. Like it's just every day. Because if you're going somewhere, you have to have your belongings. And it was just something I naturally began to start asking.
It's true.
So it created this entire fight. And he's gotten so good. And I had to be like, I'm not trying to create the expectation, babe. I'm just saying, like, do you have it? You know what I mean? And it would create a fight. And so what I realized on the day you shared this story with me, I think it was Monday, was this. Life is going to go on.
Yeah.
Right? Like the solution has to come about.
Mm-hmm.
When you're going to fight, there's always going to be a solution. You're always going to deal with something.
Yeah.
Right? You're always going to try to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's going to happen regardless of being happy or angry, wouldn't you rather just do it happy?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, for example, if you're fighting about he lost the keys, you always lose everything. What the heck? Now we're wasting time. Look what you did. You can't hold anything. That's what I'm never giving you. And this is what we used to fight about. Never giving you anything. Blah, 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 right? We still have to go find the keys. Like, we still have to figure out the solution. So why not just figure out the solution happy rather than angry?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if it's like, I'm hungry. Well, what do you want to eat? I don't know. You never know what you want to eat. Like stupid little fights like this, we still have to go get food. So why not figure out how to get food in a happy manner?
Exactly.
Like the outcome is always going to go on.
Yeah, man.
Choose to be happy about it. So literally this happens.
Yeah,
so,
we're very irrational creatures, man. Like, you know, we think that we're rational, but I mean, we're very irrational. I mean, something as simple as that rationally makes sense.
Yeah.
But in the moment, in the heat, it's like, can you really pull that out? Can you really execute that?
Yeah.
Right? And one of the ways, and did you get to their point or no?
Not yet.
Like one of the ways that you guys can do that and get better as that is one of the things that we just recently started implementing, which is every time we fight, we ask ourselves, what are we really fighting about? You know, like what was the fight about? You know, because the more you start understanding what the fight is about, you're gonna start developing an awareness of what you're fighting for.
Yeah, this is good.
And when you start developing the awareness, right, what ends up happening is most of the time it's so stupid that in the heat of the moment, right, because you're becoming more aware, this thought is gonna come up into your mind and say, oh my God, we are fighting because of X, Y, and Z again. Yeah. And it's gonna be your opportunity to pursue that emotion or to let it go. Yeah. Because when you see how stupid it is, it makes you think twice. Should I do it? Yeah. It's only when you're not aware that you just decide to keep doing it because you think it's the right thing to do. You think that, you know what, this is, you know, I can't believe that this is happening. This is unacceptable, right? But when you start becoming aware of what the fights are about, you're going to start realizing this is stupid. And it's going to be your opportunity to make a decision. Should I fight over something so stupid or should I just let it go? Yeah, like there's been times where I go, do you realize what we're fighting about? And it always works. Like in the middle of the freaking fight, like in the middle of it, we could be both heated and out of nowhere I just go, do you realize we're fighting about something so stupid? You know what we're fighting about, man? And at that point, we just start kind of like laughing, you know? But here's the thing, right? Like I was presented with the opportunity to react like my past or not. Yeah. And so Tuesday, we find out that we lost the keys, right? Yeah. And I'm even getting better. I said we lost the keys, you see? Yeah, that's good. That's good. You know, and I just said, okay. And he was like, okay. And I'm like, yeah, what do we have to do? And we still don't have the keys till this point. And I'm not even angry. I'm not even upset. I'm not even like judgmental, right? I'm just like, you're just chilling. I'm just chilling because it's like what the outcome is, we gotta find the keys. The outcome is we gotta find new keys. Like, would I rather be upset about trying to do those things or just keep being happy? I'd rather just keep being happy. We lost the keys, let's just go get new keys, right? Like it's not hard. It sounds hard, but I mean in the moment it may feel hard, but it's not. It's just like, and it was 1 a.m. We were both tired. Like, I could have easily just snapped. And I didn't. I was just like, okay, we lost the keys. And I just couldn't believe it. I was like, really? You're not gonna get angry at me. You're not going to get mad.
He was so shocked that he felt like he needed to get angry.
Yeah, I was like,
I was like, dang it, I lost stickies. I'm like, chill, bro. Like,
I was like getting angry at myself. But yeah, I mean, that's a great point, man. That's a great point. Guys, you're watching the Power Couple Show. We're here live on Monday, Meerkat, YouTube, and
thepowercoupleshow.com.
Yeah, make sure that you go to thepowercoupleshow.com.
Watch all of our episodes.
You can watch our episodes there. You guys can get more access to our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, right? And we are excited that we are here. We're excited to bring you guys really good content. And we're talking about how to stop fighting, right?
Yeah.
How to stop fighting with your spouse.
So we're going to end the show with 2 assignments really quick, okay? And first thing I want you to do is start writing down what you're fighting about.
Yeah.
Okay? Write down every time you and your spouse have an argument, write down what you fought about.
What are you guys fighting about?
And then what you're going to see is you're probably fighting about just the same thing. Like, that's what we found out. We found out that we were fighting about once a week about the same thing.
The same
and
thing.
It was like stupid. It was like the stupidest thing. And so then here's the second part of the assignment. Write down how fast you recover from it.
Yeah, how fast are you taking, man? Are you taking weeks?
Yeah.
Months? Are you still holding on to something your spouse did like last year? Dude, let it go, because it's like poison. It's like drinking poison, expecting the other person to die.
Yeah, here's what we mean. Like, when you fight, how long does it take for you to go back to being normal?
Let me tell you something. It used to take me forever in the very beginning. I mean, it used to take me hours, days sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is not good at all.
Yeah.
Just really figure out how long it's taking, right? Because look, when you start tracking this stuff, when you start figuring it out.
And it sounds weird. Like, who tracks this in a relationship? But you should.
You should. No,
This is how you grow.
Here's the problem, though. Look, listen. If you're going to get married to someone, you need to take it serious, like a business, like anything, right?
Track it.
You got to track it, because the biggest problem that people have is that they're not intentional with their life, period, right? If you could be more intentional with your life, you'd probably get further ahead.
Right.
And this is a big, big thing that I had to learn, because I was not intentional with my life for 19 years of my life. I lived a life that I was a drifter. I drifted wherever the wind took me.
That's
right?
the problem, man.
And my
People
life
are unintentional.
But if you can be intentional in your marriage, you will bypass all of the gunk, all of the junk, all of the garbage that you don't need to experience in your relationship or your marriage or your life, period, just by being intentional.
Absolutely.
So
man.
just be intentional.
So do it. So write down
girl.
every time you fight, and write down how long it takes you to recover. Because I'm telling you, one of the problems I had was that when I'm emotional, I snap, man.
Yeah.
Like, I snap, and this is something I'm working on, and I'm still working on it till this day. But I'll snap.
She turns into the Hulk, yo.
I'll just be like, you idiot, right? Like, I just start calling names.
She is the Hulk,
And
bro.
I did it with my siblings. Like, I've done it all my life. Like, it's like the weirdest thing, because I'm like the nicest, loving person.
Yeah.
And you know, just my heart.
Yeah.
But it's like the moment you do something that I find that is so dumb. Like, it is like you ask me a dumb question, like, I will show it in my face.
Yeah.
I will make you feel like you're, retarded, like sarcastic. I'm very sarcastic, and it's bad. Like, it's bad. I hate making people feel this way, and I didn't realize I was doing that. Like, I would just call names.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, I need to work on this. So I remember one day, I was like, I wanted to call him an a-hole. I know, guys, forgive me. This is bad. This is bad. Like, and I actually used the word, like, I wanted to be like, you a-hole. And I had to, like, think about this. Like, he kept saying, and I hope I've gotten better. Like, this is a recent change for me. All right? He kept saying, stop calling me names, right?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, dang, like, this is repetitive. Like, this guy keeps asking me
to stop
calling his name, stop calling him names. Something's wrong with me. Like, I'm literally calling this guy some names. And so I was like, Cassandra, you're about to call him an a-hole. Don't do it. Don't do it. Think of a better way to call him an a-hole that's just, not an a-hole. Just think of a better way. And it was the funniest thing. So he's like, he gets me so angry, and he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, you're being a legitimate butt crack or something like that. And he just looked at me.
I started
laughing.
I was laughing.
And then I started laughing. And then he was like, that was really good. And I was like, thank you. I wanted to call you an a-hole.
Yo, look.
and I didn't want to say a-hole. And we just started laughing at the fact that I got creative with how I wanted to. It was just so funny. And it's like,
that's a good point. Actually, if you can get a laugh out of your partner, the argument gets diffused because it's like you got them to laugh. Now it's almost like it's like you change their state of mind. It's amazing. And one of the ways you do that is by responding in a way that your partner is not expecting you to respond.
Yeah, man, because name calling is whack, man.
Name calling is
it's
whack,
not
bro.
Good. And I realized, I do this. If my sibling says something, I'm like, no, you idiot, you don't. And I'm like, I don't, when I have kids, I'm probably going to do it with my kids. Yeah. I don't even want to do it. So I was like, I need to work on this now.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, again, I just want to give a shout out to
Social Monkey 201.
Social Monkey 201, man. Let's give him 2 claps.
Before we give it to him, though, you realize what he said?
Yeah, he's going to recommend it to his friends.
Yeah, he said that he also went on our YouTube channel and just sees how much content we have. It's amazing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, help us spread the love, man. We really appreciate the fact that you're gonna recommend it to your friends. You are the bomb, dude. Let's give him 2 claps. You rock. And also here on my Meerkat,
Ho-Tuan,
thank you for following and liking this, brother. 2 claps for you.
You rock. You're awesome.
Yeah, you guys are great. You guys are awesome. Damn, man, this is a good topic.
Yeah,
okay?
I had something.
Yeah, tomorrow, join us live. We're gonna be talking about a very cool topic. Okay, it's gonna be really good stuff here. Okay, and what we're gonna be talking about mañana is going to be, drum roll, please. Okay, we're gonna be talking about how to create amazing memories with your spouse. Right?
Ooh, this is good.
It's gonna be really good stuff. Okay.
Can I give a snippet?
No snippets.
No, I just want to
give a snip. I gotta use the bathroom.
Okay. Well, this one is my favorite because I was realizing the other day just how life is all about the memories that you create. That's it. And I was talking to him, I was like, what if we just really focused our everyday living in creating the best memories for ourselves? Because then when we're older, we can look back and just go, man, I've had an amazing life. It's all about your memories. It's what makes you perceive about the world. If you had horrible memories in your childhood, they create an expectation of what you want out of life. Memories, they make or break the way you look at life. You know what I mean? So I'm excited. We're gonna go into that. This is gonna be a great topic. As my husband gets out of the bathroom, we're gonna end the show now. Guys, if you have any questions, put it in the comments below. You've got questions, we've got answers. Put it in the comments. All right, guys. We appreciate you so much. If you're watching this on YouTube, like this. Put some comments in the YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. If you're on thepowercoupleshow.com, put some comments below. Share this on Facebook or Twitter. If you're on Meerkat, restream this, man. Restream this. Let the world know that the Power Couple Show is the place to be. Y'all heard? Yo, guys, you guys are awesome. Make sure you definitely hit the follow button wherever you're watching this from. Make sure you subscribe, man. We are excited to bring you fresh content Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. If you guys have not made your way to thepowercoupleshow.com, you guys are more than welcome to do that. And as a thank you for watching the show, we want to give you a free PDF, which is the 7 ways to become a power couple. And you can grab that free copy today. Okay. And it's going to be yours. Okay. So we appreciate you guys. We are here Monday through Friday again, 10 a.m. Eastern. That's right.
And mañana we're going to be talking about how to create amazing memories with your spouse. Okay. Love you guys.
You're the bomb.
Picture taken.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Guys, you're the bomb.
Tick, tick, boom.
See you mañana. Peace, love, chicken grease to the Middle East. You heard?
You heard?
You want to end your stream too? Or
Yo,
look at it?
Peace out, guys. Love you guys.
Peace, love. I love you guys. You guys are the bomb. Can you move your phone so I can end YouTube?
Yes, sir.
Bam. Bam.
Nice. You got a follower too, right?